So what they're looking for essentially on the forms is what's assessable, what's not. They're looking for you to tally up. Here's all of your um, uh, assets that you have. So here's your cash, 529 plans, only for the student that's going off to school. Um, Anything in mutual funds, stocks, bonds, things like that. They do want the equity in any rental or vacation properties. I advise people to not overstate those. Again, don't overstate those. So one time we want to look poor as possible. So just instead of going to Zillow, like what are you being taxed on is one way to show that what the value is. So hopefully that's helpful. And small business value for the first time a couple years ago, they have begun to ask, what's the value of your small business? I will tell you that if you have a small business, I highly suggest you stay tuned or have a meeting with me. We do a lot of work around how to help you do things like tuition reimbursement plans. So using tax-free money, hiring kids through the business, having them get tuition reimbursement plans, just like you get at Starbucks or at Chase Bank. So things like that, we can help install those for small businesses. And you don't want to overvalue your business either in this case. So hopefully those are helpful. What's accessible, what's not. All your retirement accounts are off or are off the grid, so to speak. Cash values and life insurance. Home equity is not looked at by FAFSA schools. Keep that in mind. Annuities are asked for in most cases now, after tax annuities. And then the cash value and life insurance, it is not accessible, but I caution people that there's still folks out there that are trying to say that it's a great way to shelter assets, which it can be, but it's important to note how much you're going to pay for that privilege. So because what we know is assets are only assessed at 5.6%. So they're looking at your income and your assets. Those assets, they take that, tally all that up, and they say we want 5.64% of that towards college next year. So think 5%. And then income, it ramps up pretty quick. They give you a small income protection allowance, and then it goes from 22% all the way up to 47 cents of every dollar. So that's a big one to keep in mind from an income perspective. So, and then from the students, they want 50% of income, but only if you make over 11,000 bucks, right? So most students, that's not a problem. They're going to probably be below that. And then any assets in the student's name, they want 20%. So the lesson here is basically it's better to have it in the parent's name than the student's name. Then you see some of the titling here of these UGMAs and UTMA accounts. Those are accounts that oftentimes grandparents set up, not as frequently now because the 529s become so prevalent. But that is one with UGMAs and UTMAs. You're going to want to make sure that if you do have grandparent or you do have those, work to get those out of there because they would count as 20%. So you'll see at the bottom here, grandparent 529 plan account balances and withdrawals are no longer counted against you. This is a planning strategy that we'll walk through when we show how to reposition assets from a grandparent. But that's a real opportunity for people if you are an aid eligible. So, they tally these things up and they say, here's your total student aid index. And basically, from a needs standpoint, they're going to say up here, what's the cost of the college each year minus their student aid index? That's your aid eligibility at that institution. So it's institution by institution because the cost can vary wildly, obviously. So